Hello, and welcome to the Great Global Healing Party. I'm your host and the inspiration for the Great Global Healing Party, Dr. Wendy Rowley. I'd like to explain a few things. I think the great and the global is very understandable, and healing is understandable. But why have I called this a party? I've called this a party because in order to do healing work, there's three things that are required. One, you must be in joy. It is part of the Creator's essence within the fabric of creation, and you need to be uplifted and enjoy when you do healing work. The second is you must be neutral, not in polarity of good or bad or right or wrong. So you sometimes bring your energy up to your sixth chakra, the place of neutrality and some certainty. And so being uplifted in joy, you also get out of polarity. And the third thing you need is certainty. You need to really know, I can do this. I have the ability as a spirit within a body. I am a human being, that's my body type. And the being is the spiritual part. And I am connected to the divine and to amazing soul group anatomy, which has been spoken about in some of the series and playlists that we have done on YouTube, where we are new and coming out with this work for this purpose. So those are some things that are needed. So the other thing I would like to explain, that's why this is a party, to keep us upbeat. And also because it's the first time we've ever been able to come together and actually do this work at a profound soul level. So what else? Why is it a golden healing in the golden renaissance? There's an amazing thing that happens when you come together, or when you are doing healing work on your own, for your own being, for you individually. But there's also something that happens when we come together collectively. It happens in both paradigms, whether you're doing your own individual healing or whether you're coming together as groups. And what you create in the healing process is basically a golden type of energy. We use that metaphor to explain that it is benevolent, it is high, and it has a purpose. So that energy is, for your individual healing, is taken up to the soul, and for group healing is taken up to the soul group level, and that healing is used down the road for more healing. Now, there are in the earth, I mean, this is well known, people talk about the Renaissance, and the Renaissance were all sorts of inventions and ideas and creativity and art and music and literature, and new ideas come forward. So we know about renaissances in our history, but there are also spiritual renaissances. There are renaissances where we have come together in the past and done very profound healing work as a soul group of people. And so that resonance and that golden energy is also taken up. And that's what we'll be using today in this group healing. For we can only do this if we come together as one heart and hold this intention and this joy and this neutrality and in this new energy with setups that are now allowing this healing to go forward of our human consciousness grid. And so that's the intense and profound, but also very beautiful thing we are coming together to do today in this great global healing party. Now, I'm going to say a few things, so just so you have an understanding. There are also golden renaissances that are large ones, and there are dotted smaller ones in between. We are in a large one, and at those times, profound setups, healing, and other things are put into place for our evolution going forward in the future. So it is said that we are in a great renaissance. So we're using this beautiful golden energy from a previous great golden renaissance to come through our souls to do this healing with the creator or source or divine intelligence, or however you want to see the glue, the magic, the love, the healing forces, whatever works for you. Those combinations of our ability to be connected in our divinity to source, and our ability to work at a soul group level as one heart. Eleni has, that's the guide group I work with who are doing this work. That she has many channelings on the YouTube website that talk about some of the anatomy and that we are one heart out at the soul group or higher self soul group level, and out in what people call the greater field where benevolence and magic and creation happens, us interfacing with the creative source. And so there's a beautiful, beautiful, and profound thing that we're coming together to do. And we cannot do this alone. We have to do this as a soul group. So I'm very, very grateful for anyone who's tuning in to hear this. And even if you hear this in the future, not when the event happens, you still partake and give your energetic source of your soul in intention to that event, even though it is something that has already passed. Because our spiritual nature actually is quantum, multidimensional, and in a lot of now moments, in a lot of places and spaces based on our soul. If you can picture it or imagine that kind of a thing, which is kind of a heady thought. Okay, I'd like you to have one other understanding. There is a theme to this healing, and this is the first inaugural event. There will be more of these. They will be 4 times a year. I will have it up on the website about it. And the next one will be March, I believe it's 22nd. And they will be in the solstices and basically the equinoxes 4 times a year. So, and they will continue to go forward, and they'll always be free. So you can tune into these at any time, or you can join them live, but just have the idea that I'm still contributing to that event. That happens. The final thing I'd like you to know is that this is a new experience, not only for you, but also for me. I have done lots of preparation and work to get to this space to do this work. But today I don't know what will be coming forward or what it will be like. So I'm going to ask you to be patient and understanding with that. Now, if you're not familiar with sound healing work, it's where a healer uses their voice as a vocal instrument to bring the sound forward. And I do that because it's a little more interesting than the sitting there in silence. And so it allows a texture, something that you can attune to. Some people feel things in their energy field. Some people sense a sense of some sort of presence. The experiences are very wide and varied, but it gives it a little bit of a richer experience for you, and it's not as that uncomfortableness of just sitting in silence and wondering, are we done? Is it over? What's happening? So the other thing I'd like you to know is that let me hang on to my thought. So if you're not familiar with sound healing, it can be very strange because there's these sounds that come forward from the sound healer's voice. So what I suggest you do is, and I'll say a little prayer of intention and we'll just get going, but what I suggest you do is get into a meditative state and get into your heart and just imagine that this healing is going forward. Now, as I said, these are themed healings, but what I'm going to do is not tell you the theme of this particular healing for each event that we do until after the healing is done. And that is very purposeful, so that you stay uplifted in a picture of what we wish to create, which is a healing on the human consciousness grid, a scrubbing of some old charge of something from the ancestral level of large family groups, which in the past, way past history, could have been anywhere from 200 to 500 people, all related, living in a family group, cousins and and married and married and married. And so there's that level, and there's the level of tribes and nations. And that's the level of our co-creation on the human consciousness grid. So I suggest you relax. You just intend that this is happening. You imagine it's happened. And at the end, I'll tell you the theme of what we scrubbed clean on that grid together as a soul group. For some of the channelings from Aliania say, indeed, in the higher self soul group level, where there's a level of high energy on the human crystalline grid, as well as our past ancestral charges of war and wars for greed and all the things created out of benevolence for the greater good of all, that are appropriate for different consciousnesses in different times. But our consciousness is shifting. The fact that we all want to come together to do this and maybe do it in a more benevolent way to create change is something to be said about the change in our consciousness. For there are beautiful and benevolent ways to create change. So thank you for listening to this. I'm going to go ahead and get out of the way, and we'll see. I believe Aliania will come forward and speak with you a little bit, and then we will begin the healing. Okay. Oh, good day to you, dearest beings of light. I am indeed Aliania of Cosmic Service. I am what's called a Pleiadian Mother of Sound. Peace be with you, peace be with you, and peace be with you. And welcome to this inaugural event, the premiere, the pilot, the grand celebration opening of the Great Global Healing Party. This one chose the name, and we would say it's a very good name. It's a very neutral name, it's a very positive name, and it's a very uplifting name. And so that's going to be the name of this event, and you can find out more about it on the website. For we are going to give some information that she's going to post there coming up. So the website will continue to build as the healings continue to go forward. For this is going to go on for quite a while, as you can imagine. There's a lot to scrub on that long history that you have on the earth, and it'll go on even after this one. There will be someone else or other people or multiple people that will pick up the charge and continue this work. She just happens to be a premier. She was told about it in her 20s. We took her way up and showed her the human consciousness grid in what's called the noosphere, or the collective unconscious that goes around the periphery of your planet. And we showed her the pain body of the earth. And we said, this has to be healed. And then she waited 40 years, and we came back. And we told her it was time. And so here we are. So let us be patient and kind with her as she also branches forward into new work and a different degree of work for her, for she's indeed a healer and a sound healer. So that is what we wish to say. We will come back and give a little bit more information after the healing. One thing she forgot to mention is that this is going to be an unusual healing. It's going to be 20 minutes approximately. And that is because you can also do this work by bringing together people, and each group can sing or tone a particular thing, and the group creates a setup. And then the activator comes in and does the work through those connections that you all have. Everyone is getting the work. Everyone is getting the healing. And you're getting that at two levels. You're getting it at your individual level, and you are getting it at the soul group collective level. And that's what happens when you come together, or you choose to heal, even in your own individual life. You take away the charge so the other people around you don't react in what we call a match, or they have a similar disharmony, and it's just that feeling between people there. It's friction, or you feel uncomfortable, or the conversations always get into a kind of a heady kind of a thing. Those are usually what we call karmic situations, or both resonating at a similar disharmony. And such is life. But the beauty and the grace of the Creator is always there for healing. So we got off on a little aside, so we can't even remember what we were going to say. But anyway, we're going to come back afterwards and and that it'll be 20 minutes. And that is because the setups are not being done by the group ahead. So as a sound healer, she will be doing the setups and the actual moment where the healing goes forward. And you will be able to tell that by her voice, because there'll be a pause. And we do this on purpose for you, that you may go, okay, the setup is done. Oh, here comes the healing. and that you may go, yay, and be uplifted, like she said. So that we will make a specific pause for you all, that you may have that understanding, for you are part of this. And as she truly said, it cannot be done alone. It's a soul group activity of healing. All right, we think we've given you enough information, and we will begin the healing. All right, dearest beings of light, we did our best to keep close to the microphone. This is Aliene of Cosmic Service, Palladian Mother of Sound. And we did our best to be succinct with the pause. And we did our best to help you in our process. We're going to share with you what this one saw in her clairvoyance, because she would probably not speak of that for not being sure how strange it would be for you all. But she's able to see the soul group pod, all of you, and she sees that there is a benevolent spirit guide, if you want to call it your guardian angel, your connection to source, but there is a healing being behind each of you doing this healing. And she also saw, she put up, there's a way to do this. She put up what's called a picture image, or some people call it a mock-up, or working paradigm. And with your clairvoyance, you can just imagine you see something, and your soul will fill in the energies of a living presence in that picture, and the picture will transform. Those are some of the amazing abilities you have as a spirit and a body. So the level that she saw for her mock-up of out in the greater field, where we have spoken about a lot in our channelings with her on the the YouTube website for the Wonder of Human Design there, that there is a group heart in the field, and there's the creator's source, the connections that allow healing and creation and change and growth to happen. And she saw that we were in one heart there also. And she saw levels being lifted. And she also saw that because you partook in this and you held on to that great vision of this is possible, and you opened your heart to that possibility, and you set the intention that, yeah, I think this is a good idea, let's do this. There is also what she saw was that we were lifted up to a higher little bit of a level, and that a lower level of energy was let go. And she will tell you what this healing is about, and you will be glad that that is gone. For it can be seen as an underlying theme within a lot of your culture in many ways. Your mind will explode with spirals of where you might be seeing that kind of energy in the mundane world, and in the people you know at various stages of life, of the way that they get, where things become hopeless. So you carry with you your things that need healing and transmuting through your incarnational process on the earth. For you are a steady stream of consciousness, and you never lose that. It just grows more and more into the benevolence of the group soul body, and in service and in love and light. And you can still be an individual in a body, but you can be operating at that level, for that is the way the paradigm is designed. And there could be people in business who are basically like masters, who are there trying to change that industry. There are people in the medical field who are masters, who are trying to change that energy. There are people in government who are masters, who are trying to change that energy. And there are people across all walks of life, in all the major disciplines of human groups of consciousness, maybe, corporations, there are masters there. You're developing larger groups of things again, as you have on and off through your long history as the soul groups, and many soul groups on the earth, if we can say it that way. So anyway, we wanted you to know that all of that was going on in a group level with all of you. And there are higher geometries and things that we could describe, but we're not going to do that at this time. We are in no time, so forgive us for our poor time reference. All right, so what we wanted you to know is that this healing is a setup that makes all the rest of the grid healing possible. And this one is familiar with this concept because it was the first, and she wouldn't have told you this either, that's why we're being bold and using her as an example, that this was the first thing that was healed in her individual higher self Akash, which we have said is your auric field around your body. The classic picture you see on the internet of a body with chakras, energy centers of wheels of light and energy and movement and change that are basically your spirit body's interface to your physical body. And so she has got that. Oh, we lost our thought. She pushed in a little bit because she gets a little nervous when we talk about her. But she, she had that cleared. We're back. She had that cleared in her individual Akash, the theme. And so now it's healed at the collective level. So that's the way it goes, microcosm, macrocosm. And had she not cleared that in her individual Akash, she could not rise to the level where she could help you clear it at the group level. And that's another paradigm within the system of evolution on Earth, which is, as this one says, it's a school. It's not a punishment or a hard way of being or a living type of hell or a purgatory or all those religious pictures of old consciousness ways of trying to describe the paradigm as best they could understand in that time. And we're not saying we're the be-all and end-all of information. You have to figure that out for yourself. And as it's always said by benevolent channelers, if it rings true for you, then maybe you can explore it. If it doesn't, move on and find another source, find another meditation group, find some resonance of a spiritual group that relates and resonates with you. And as we say, we don't preach, we don't teach, but we do guide when the humans are ready. And so, and in alignment with the creative forces and the greater plan of the Creator on Earth, if that's the simplest way to say it. So she saw those things, and she now understands why some of those things were healed in her. And we want you to know that at the very end, and this one I was suspecting it because it felt more personal, we did a little bit of a sound upgrade for her so that she could bring in some higher notes in the future. Because as you can see, she kind of bumps up against those higher notes, and this will allow a higher frequency to come through. She was at one point in the background thinking, gee, I've heard in hearing tests for if the hearing is going in a human, that men cannot hear the same high frequency that a woman can. So if you're a man and you're listening to this tape and you feel like the sound sort of disappears, it might be at a higher frequency that a woman's voice can do that you might not be able to hear. And we have done our best to make sure that all the sound is heard. We have gone through lots of work on that. And if for any reason the sound is missing in any part of this video, for some reason, either the frequency was too high or the Zoom recorder decided that's background noise and we're going to knock that out, hopefully not, but just intend that you are still present and it is happening. And eventually there will be a system developed. It's not developed yet, but there will be a system developed, for it's in the works, where the sound won't cut out for musicians, because some other musicians who bring in their recordings for you to listen to are having some similar experiences in some of the paradigms of this new global reach that you have through your World Wide Web, your internet. All right, so like you have your World Wide Web in your technology, you now know you have a World Wide Web at your soul group level. Isn't that lovely? So what we wanted to say, because we keep going off on asides with this one in the background, a little excited, but it's all right, it's all good information. We wanted to say that in the future, as we started to say, the tonal frequencies will be higher, and there will also be slightly shorter for reasons that are the setups that were made in this inaugural party. So they won't be 20 minutes, they might be 10 minutes. So if that's any help, good to know. For we had to do some things on the human consciousness grid, for this is not just us, this is a large group of creational beings on the other side of the veil and the angelic and archangelic kingdoms who have come to help you in your evolution at this unique time that you were in. So those setups were upgraded on your human consciousness grid to connect to higher levels where you have soul group gold that can be accessed for future healings. So we wanted you to have that understanding in case you go, too long, can't handle it, that the future will be shorter. So this is what we wished you to know this day. You are dearly loved. Expect benevolence in all you do. And there will be more information in the second video in this series because we asked this one and another speaker to do something unique that has not been done before. And you might enjoy it. And so we'll have more information about this work, this process, and some general understandings of how souls and soul groups work. That has not been put on the web yet through her. All right. Peace be with you. You are dearly loved. Thank you for joining the Great Global Healing Party, and we bid you a happy adieu. All right. This is Dr. Wendy Rowley, and I can't even remember what I was going to say, but what I want to do definitely is thank all of us. I want us to all thank each other and thank yourself. And I'm thanking you personally. And if you want to send me an uplifting thanks, that would be wonderful. And let us thank each other for hearing the group call to come together, because we have to do this as a group. And the more people, the more profound the healing. And the goal is when you get to 5,000 or more people, the work, Aliania says, becomes profound. And it reaches a whole nother level. So the goal is to get more people. So if you wouldn't mind liking, subscribing, commenting, these particular healings are going to be on the YouTube website for my Wonder of Human Design, and they will be there, always free to listen to. The event itself, and it'll be put on afterwards, but the event itself will also always be free, and I might bring in some less speakers, but a few speakers to make it just a little part of a day and not a big day thing. And I might keep it shorter and sweeter, but you will have an opportunity to sign up and be present in the live one, which is a different experience. And you can also join it quantumly in your multidimensional nature and link up to the no time space just by intention. I'm here, I'm with them, they're doing it, no matter when you listen to the video of these healings on YouTube. Always free and always for your sharing. Sharing them on the website, that's what I mean. Okay, I think I've covered everything. This is Dr. Wendy Rowley, the host and the inspirer for the Great Global Healing Party. And I'll see you in the next episode. We have some juicy, amazing people. I was blown away by the people that answered this call for speakers for this first inaugural global event. And I reached for the stars, and the stars came down. That's how I see it. So you're going to have some really wonderful and juicy information from the speakers that ties in to some of their research, that ties in to the beginnings of science. And it's just the beginning, because a lot more is coming forward, says Aliania, to show that how well and how profoundly we're connected. There's some amazing evolutionary thought people on. There's healers, there's shamans, there's doctors, there's a whole list of people. It's up on the website, which if you signed up for this one and you're not hearing this on YouTube later, you will find the links to register for the live events on the website, always, before each equinox and solstice. Okay, you'll hear more about details in the next video of this Great Global Healing Party premiere. Thank you, peace be with you, and I am humbled but in gratitude that you are coming to the party. And I hope you're having a fabulous time. The event we cleared. Yes. So what we cleared at the soul group level was the memory of planetary destruction. It was the soul group memory of planetary destruction, the soul group memory of planetary destruction. I've watched so many sci-fi movies and movies where they bring us to a future, and I sit there going, why is it always a not very benevolent future. Why do they see things always falling apart? And I'm like, well, I don't know how long it takes. Aliania will talk about that. It takes a while for this to percolate up into our consciousness and create change. That's the way spirit works. It starts first at the spiritual level and eventually manifests down to the physical level and in the actions and words and evolution of people as a group together on our world. That's spiritual healing for you. Sometimes it can be instantaneous change, but I don't know about this level or the grid level. But you can understand now why I gave you the theme at the end, because you would have focused on that picture. But instead, we focus on the healing picture, because you must be upbeat, neutral, and certain of your abilities. So to keep you that way, I decided that I would share the theme at the end. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you at the next speaker event where I'll be hosting the interview, and I will see you at all future great global healing parties. Bye-bye.